Good day, students. So for today, I'm going to discuss the Newton's second law of motion, especially in solving such word problems. So let us first define the law of acceleration as the second law of motion. So the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force applied and inversely proportional to mass. So this can be expressed as acceleration is equal to force over mass, or it can be derived into force is equal to mass times acceleration, since we're just going to cross multiply this. Okay, so just imagine that there is a denominator between within a, all right, and then when we cross multiply it, so force is equal to acceleration and then mass. So we have force is equal to mass times acceleration. So we have here different units that we can use for mass, acceleration, and force. So we have here different systems. So we have the MKS, CGS, and FPS. So for the mass, so in terms of MKS, we will use kilograms, CGS, grams, and for FPS, we will going to use slag. And for the acceleration, the units to be used are for the MKS, since it is MKS, so we will going to use M or meter per second, all right? And then we need to square the time. So we have meter per second square. For CGS, we have centimeter per second square. And then for FPS, we have feet per second squared. And for force, so here is what we're going to use. So, itong force is a combination na po ng mass times the acceleration. So, in force, the unit is Newton, which is equal to kilogram times meter over second squared. For CGS, we have dyne, which is equal to grams times centimeter over second squared. And for FPS, we have here the pounds, which is equal to slag times feet per second squared. And we also have this derivation of formula, as you can see. So we have here the general formula for force, which is force is equal to mass times acceleration. And this mass and acceleration is just a derivation of this given formula. So in mass, as a derivation, we have m is equal to F over A, and acceleration is equal to force over mass. Alright, so we have here an example word problem. So a 1,000 kilogram truck is traveling at an acceleration of 4.5 meter per second squared. Find the net force needed to accelerate the truck. So the given in the word problem is acceleration, which is equal to 4.5 meter per second squared, and also the mass, which is equal to 1,000 kilograms. So the mass and the acceleration is pertaining to the truck, and we will need to find the missing term, which is the net force or the force. So given the formula earlier, so we're going to use this. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. So we're going to substitute the given values. Alright, so we have 1,000 kilograms for the mass and 0.5 meter per second squared for acceleration. So let's just multiply this, and the answer will be force is equal to 4,500 kilograms meter per second squared. Or in simplest unit, we will write it as 4,500 Newton. Next problem, what acceleration will a force of 500 newtons produce on a body with a mass of 200 kilograms. So, can you identify what is us in the problem and what are the given? Alright, so in this word problem, we have here the given, which are the mass, which is equal to 200 kilograms, and then the force, which is equal to 500 Newton. And we are looking for the acceleration. So, derive the general formula, F is equal to m times a. So, we will derive it as acceleration is equal to F over m. So, ito na po yung gagamitin natin. And then, we're just going to substitute the given values. Alright, so we have 500 Newton over 200 kilograms. So, we are going to use the units involved in Newton. So, we have kilograms times meter per second squared. Alright? And then the denominator is equal to 200 kilograms. It is because we have to cancel out units. Alright? Kasi, ano ba yung hinahanap natin? Diba, acceleration. So, ibig sabihin, dapat po yung final answer natin is in meter per second squared since we are talking about acceleration. So, here, na-cancelled out natin yung units na kilogram. And then, we're just going to divide these values. So, 500 divided by 200 is equal to 2.5. And what will be the unit? So, it is in meter per second squared. Last example, a net force of 15 Newton is exerted on an encyclopedia to cause it to accelerate at a rate of 5 meter per second squared. Determine the mass of the encyclopedia. So, in this word problem, we are looking for the mass of the encyclopedia. So, the net force is being applied on an encyclopedia to cause it accelerate at a rate of 5 meter per second squared. So, ilan daw yung value ng force na in-exert natin para mag-accelerate yung encyclopedia? So, we have here 15 Newton. So, again, we are looking for the mass. And we're going to use this formula. Mass is equal to force over acceleration. And then, we're going to substitute the given values. For the force, we have 15 Newton. And for the acceleration, we have 5 meter per second squared. Alright? So, just like what we did earlier, so we write the units involved in Newton. So, we have here kilogram times meter per second squared. Alright? And then, we're going to cancelled out the same units. So, yung same units po dyan is yung meter per second squared. And since we're looking for the mass, so, make sure that the final answer is in kilograms. Alright? If the system is MKS. Alright? So, in here, 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3. And the unit to be used for the final answer is kilogram. So, maaari pong mag-iba yung mga units na ginagamit natin depende sa system na given. So, dun sa tatlong given ko sa inyo, so, kung matatandaan ninyo, lahat ng system na ginamit ko is MKS. Alright? So, just be careful in determining the system being used in the given word problem. Alright? So, just like on the 3 word problems that I have given to you, na nandiyan din naman po sa pamphlet ninyo. So, the system being used there is MKS. Alright? Nakadepende sa isang word problem kung ano yung system na magagamit diyan. Alright? Depende sa given values natin. Kung sa force, mass, or acceleration man yan. Nagkakaintindihan po. So, that would be all for today. And I hope you have learned something from this second law of motion. And if you have clarification, you may message me directly through my messenger account. Goodbye everyone, and thank you for listening.